constantly talking.
Try to be. Ooh, awesome. I think everything's set up. Hello, and welcome to the stream. For the first, 10 minutes, I'm gonna be eating dinner, because it got made a little bit later. It's alright. Just chill here for a bit, and wait for people to come in. But essentially, today we are going to be continuing work on the downtown area. I'm gonna lower the opacity on this image, trace over it, and hopefully get the line art done today. We'll see if we actually get to coloring, but the plan is to get to finish the line art. And if you're curious what I'm eating, I am eating pasta. Hey, everyone's day has been going well. Mine has been pretty chill. I spent most of it planning out what I want to do with the front yard. I want to make a big garden. We'll see if that actually happens, but that's the idea. Make sure that the neighbors won't be too mad. They might have opinions. Maybe they'll be so happy that we're doing something intentional with the yard that they won't think about the fact that it's gonna be expansive and that it's landscaping. In the ideal world, I'd get rid of most of the grass. My friend made me a mug that was essentially the president of the anti-grass committee. The world would just be better if we had less grass lawns. You know, this noodle is shaped kind of like a trumpet, or skirt, per se. I don't know if it entirely works, just because the noodle falls apart. It's fun, but it's not holding itself together very well. The little ruffle at the bottom of the noodle is falling off. do wonder what was going on last week, because that was the most amount of views I've had on a live stream. Was it just because I was doing Blender? People seem to like when I do Blender. I went to the local HOA meeting so I could meet the neighbors and then also scope out their opinions on lawn stuff. Overall, I think I'll have to ease them into it or something. I don't know. They're very much pro grass lawn. One year, the neighbors just never mowed the lawn, so then it invited a whole bunch of animals in. Animals and bugs, which I want to plant a whole bunch of native flowers, which would essentially do the same thing in a prettier fashion. I'm not sure how they'll feel about that. Hello, welcome to the stream. I'm currently eating dinner right now, because I mistimed my evening a little bit. So we'll get to the drawing soon. I just want to finish eating. Hopefully your day has been going well. Mine has been going pretty decently. I got to experience the first HOA meeting. Hopefully we don't become the problem people with my garden plans. We'll see if I actually get to, do my garden plans. I still have to run it by my dad first, because he's the one who owns the house, so he gets to make the decisions. He's the one who has to deal with all the neighborhood backlash if they don't like the design decisions that I've implemented. This is good pasta. So for the downtown area, I'm thinking it'll be pretty straightforward today. It's just going to be a lot of me tracing over what I did last week with line art. I'll lower the opacity of this image and we'll trace over it. See, it's so nice having already done the 3D image, because now I don't have to worry about perspective. At least I don't have to worry about perspective nearly as much. Almost done with the pasta. We're getting there. Hello there. Currently finishing dinner. I'll start the illustration soon. I just need to finish eating. But after that, we'll get into Photoshop and start doing stuff. Or else I could start now. I've eaten a decent amount of it. So if I don't end up being consistent with the meal, at least I ate most of it warm. Alright. Just make sure my hands are clean. And we can get started drawing. let's... First things first, let's lower the opacity. Second thing second, let's put a white background behind this. Actually, would a different color work better? Let's try that. Let's try that real quick. I've not tried having a color in the background. I think that would be better than white, actually. Yeah, I think that would be better. This actually allows me to see things. Isn't that great? Isn't that crazy? Actually being able to see. I'm going to be doing... Yeah, that's too big. I'm going to be doing a lot of just shift. So I don't need pressure sensitivity at the moment. I just need consistency. Let's close the analytic view, because quite honestly, that is a bit too much to look at times. It's a little nerve-wracking looking at the amount of people who are there, and if they're decide to stay or to leave. It's all very arbitrary. Best not to look at it. It's just gonna be a bunch of me tracing. I'm excited to see how the look is going to end up changing. Because I made this piece almost 3 years ago now. It's definitely gonna look more lively, I'm sure. I think it would just be great if downtown areas look so fancy. I think that would just be lovely, you know? White got the angle exactly the same as the last one. But as we determined last time, that's because I added new buildings and changed the width of the street. So it's kind of impossible to make the same angle. With how this lighting is going, I might actually be able to get to the coloring today. I was worried I wouldn't be able to, just in terms of how long this would take, but this might go pretty quickly. I could be doing this in a better order, perhaps. Anytime I'm gonna use pen pressure is when I'm doing foliage and non-building-esque things. That would make the most sense. Have the nature be the variation we need. overall, I'm liking how that is. I started a Substack today. Specifically a newsletter. I had the account made already. I just needed to actually go about and add some stuff to it. Mentorship recently, and one of the suggestions was to engage the people who follow me more. They're trying to convince me to maybe reconsider using Instagram. And I might. I don't know. It got tiring using it after a while. Because I went in with the mindset of trying to grow my audience. So it was very tiring seeing my audience grow and yet my engagement fall because they changed the algorithm. Then in order to actually work with their new changes, I had to start making more videos, which I don't dislike making videos, hence why I have a YouTube channel. But they take a lot longer to make. Now it's like making fancier and animation-like ones, not just, oh, I'm posting a speed paint kind of situation. Because of that, videos took me longer. And I was getting busy. What's their new AI usage? That was also bugging me. So if I do end up posting to Instagram again, I will definitely be downloading Nightshade. Because I don't need to help them along. That's not necessary. I don't need help. I already scraped the entire internet. I don't need to give them additional things to do. I'm so excited about this bike path. Bike paths are just good. They're really nice. More places should have bike paths that aren't on the road, or at least if they are on the road, properly separated. Because there's nothing worse than a bike path that is just a tiny little section off the road that cars drive in anyway, and then people get upset at the bikes for being in the bike path, even though they're technically allowed to be there. I think it's time for a pasta second. Hold on. Just a little bite of pasta. Don't worry. Don't mind me. There's a tangent right there. I don't like that. Ugh. I'm gonna have to change the angle of that slightly, because that tangent is not allowed. Are there any tangents I should be worried about? It's the only one I see currently. And don't worry, the colors of the building aren't actually gonna look bright yellow, or bright red, or alternating between white and red. I was just trying to make sure there was a difference between buildings, so I could actually trace them. And I believe took a little pasta break. Let's get back into it. All right. Anyway, back to the bike paths. They should make bike paths better. People deserve better bike paths. Not afterthought bike paths. No one likes afterthought bike paths. I can add additional fancy details that I didn't want to add. It's the light posts. Now that we're here. I didn't want to model that. It wasn't necessary. I could just go back in later and draw it. Oh, I'm so excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going skating. This will be the third time I've gone skating in like 2 weeks, which is great. Because that means I'm actually making improvements, not just maintaining the skills I already have. As a cyclist, I do get miffed when people take up multiple lanes and main bike lanes. I do like bike lanes. Exactly! I think everyone would benefit from a dedicated bike lane. This is partly my agenda of wanting the American public to have more options in terms of being able to transport themselves places. But also, I want my character, Lena, to be able to get around town in a realistic way, not needing to be driven everywhere by her parents. Half of the story would not happen if her parents actually knew what she was doing. I don't think many parents would go, yeah, my child got a job as an intern to help out a PhD student. Yeah, that's a normal job for a 14/15-year-old kid to have. Yeah. No worries. She looks stressed. I wonder why. It's not like the PhD student has gone completely insane, has given themselves extra work to do that they shouldn't be. No, that's crazy talk. That would never happen. Now all of the lamps are gonna look just a little bit different. Because I'm drawing on top of them, and there's naturally gonna be some differences, even if I'm trying to keep to the same design style. You know what confuses me? When people get upset about cities building dedicated bike lanes, like protected dedicated bike lanes, that just confuses me. Like, don't you want more options in your city for getting around? Doesn't it suck being stuck in your car all the time? You could have easily gone to get ice cream just around the bend. But no, now you have to wait in traffic because everyone wants to be on the road at this time. Where I live, there are more bike lanes nowadays than a few years back, and they definitely help. Also, what are they teaching the PhD students? Quantum physics, the meaning of life? Lena's job as the intern to the PhD student is she's there to organize all of the stuff that's going on. Payson is not good at organization. So their whole entire setup, desk, research thesis, absolute mess. So Lena's there to make sure that Payson can still find stuff later and be able to refer back to it. As for what Payson is studying, they're studying the effects of the portals. When it rains is about every 100 years or so. When it rains, puddles turn into portals and creatures emerge from them. It's only supposed to happen once for one day, and yet for a small town in Maine, it continues to occur. So, Lena decides to help out the local PhD student study this event. And for Payson, this is like the opportunity of a lifetime. This is their thesis study that was purely theoretical and research focused. But now they can actually add a practical component to it. Hence why they go insane, because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity that they are never going to get again. Never. So then it turns from I need to answer a specific question with my research thesis to, oh my gosh, I need to do all of the tests I ever wanted to do, and then some, because I'm never going to be able to do this again. Hence why they lose focus so fast, and why they start going insane. So basically, she's carrying all the work. Noted. To be fair, puddle portals are cool. They are cool. And Payson's specific thesis is focused on how the puddles affect evolutionary, like, the course of evolution. Because they are finding places where this animal should not have existed, or these traits just came out of nowhere and they could not find a discernible place for it to just spontaneously appear. So then their thesis is trying to prove, one, the existence of the portals, and two, their relevancy in science. They are the laughingstock of their specific group, because people either believe the portals exist, they go, it's like, it's just not consistent enough. It doesn't affect much. Those are more of like the spiritual people, and then the more science-based people look at the portals and go, you're hilarious. That doesn't happen. Puddles turning into portals? You're crazy. That's not how science works. Suffice to say, Payson is very frustrated. Pause to break. I'm getting close to finishing the bowl. It's probably cold by now. Yeah, it's cold, but still good. Lena's definitely carrying all of the work. Once Payson actually accepts her, they abuse her presence just a little bit. They used to have an organization system that they would sort of go through, Once she came along, gone. All gone. Pure focus, pure work. She'll figure it out. She'll make it organized by the time they get back. It's fine. And you might be wondering, how the heck is a 14-year-old girl getting all of these responsibilities? And I have a little bit of a magic system going on that essentially translates your desires into results. So Lena's essentially getting more responsibility than she should because a magic rock said, "It's okay. This is fine. You should give her more responsibilities. She can totally handle it." Don't worry. Oh, she's not going insane. They're not going insane. They're both perfectly fine. And because these puddles are open longer, we're gonna have a bit of a ecological disaster on our hands. And if you're curious on what format this story is going to be taking place in, I want it to be an animated show. I have specific scenes that need music and dramatic facial expressions to be animated out. The story, I think, could work well as a graphic novel. I just think its best form would be an animated show. And because of the current state of shows getting greenlit and then getting canceled, I'd intentionally try and make it to be less seasons. So like Gravity Falls, they had a story to tell and they planned it out in a specific amount of time, and they definitely could have gotten more seasons because of how popular the show was. But they had it all planned out and they stuck with that timeline. And I will do the same thing for my show, because I don't know if I trust any network except maybe an indie studio to actually respect my story enough to keep it running without canceling it just randomly for no reason. So if I keep the story shorter to begin with, which I think they want shorter stories anyway, they seem to dislike giving people more than 8 episodes at a time to work with. So that might be a good selling point for the story, perhaps. I hope anyway. Who knows? I'm not the art director making decisions. All I know is I want to tell a story, and I hope someone else also agrees that it's a good story. It will become something of some sort. Of what form, I'm not sure yet, but it will become something at some point, because I love this story too much to give up on it. Silent movie-esque show, I'm thinking more of like black and white movies but colored, only have subtitles and commentary are necessary, or would it be more focused on environment? It would essentially be, at least if you're thinking about vibes of shows to compare it to, I would compare it to the Owl House in terms of tone/humor. Not specifically exactly the same thing, but I think there's enough similarities that it could be compared to it and work. So essentially be, you would Stevenson 1, learning the characters, our funniest bits, things are not taken as seriously, and then season 2 is when things get serious, because now we know the characters enough and the stakes that when we raise them, it actually feels impactful. I have like specific music in my head for a specific scene that I absolutely need. That I need to be paired with it. I'm staring. I'm working over here in the shadow, and I made the buildings different colors so I'd be able to differentiate between the two, and I'm still struggling. Where do you begin and where do you end? Not even a straight line. Oh, I see. There's a little box thing. Confusing his silhouette. No wonder. This was my issue last time when I was lining this, is just I was having the time of my life trying to get these buildings to make sense. I do want to put a lot of focus on the environment in terms of like the impacts of the environment and how the creatures interact with it. There will be some themes of invasive species and climate change sprinkled in. Not too heavily in the way that it would feel like in your face, but a theme of this is the natural consequence of something like this happening. Makes sense story-wise and doesn't feel like it's shoehorned in. Because I don't know about you, but I love watching nature documentaries, and I think it's important that they use their platform to help you understand the state that the environment is in, but also I know what the state of the environment is in. I think it's just the uncomfortableness of knowing that the environment is suffering that makes it feel out of place, even though it technically isn't. Yeah, I think the cover for that building is a bit low, so it looks a bit off for the outline. Yeah. It's just, all of the buildings are essentially copy and pasted of like 2 different versions. So realistically, it should be the same as the orange one on the left. It's just the angle is so severe, it's hard to tell. I haven't currently finished my bowl at the moment, so they gave me a face of disapproval that I didn't finish my pasta yet. Good thing I didn't go too crazy with the details over here. These plant pots are so tiny. Have you watched Weathering with You? And do you think that's something along the lines of the environment impact? Weathering with You. I have not watched that one. I'm kind of curious what that is now. Let me look it up. Weathering with You? Oh! I totally have wanted to see this film. I just haven't done it yet. I can't tell you whether or not it would be similar, just because I haven't watched it yet. Thank you for reminding me it exists. I will... Oh, it's on HBO Max. I could totally watch that. Okay, cool. I have plans for later then. Thank you. I will, if you end up joining next week, I will let you know if the movie's tones are similar to how I want the vibes. Though I could try and describe the vibes. Describe the vibes. A sense of throughout most of the series it's not overly talked about, more in the sense that you can see the effects. You can see how the creatures coming through the portals is affecting the local ecosystem and vice versa. You can see how this harms the local animals in the area. You can see how the plant life is suffering from the introduction of new species. It will be like a theme of main conflict, where they want to keep the portal open for different reasons. Lena because she made a friend, and Payson because this is their life's work. This is the one opportunity they will ever get to be able to study this. So they both have reasons for keeping the portal open, but then the portal just physically can't stay open. Because if it does, then both areas will suffer for it. And in the moment, Payson's willing to make the sacrifice. Or at least is ignoring the effects in order to continue having what they want. But Lena's having a harder time coming to the same mindset of being okay with the consequences. Oh! You know what time it is? It's broom time. For those of you unaware, this is my favorite song in the entire album. Favorite song. Alright, we'll turn it back down. Alright. Yeah, it's a good movie. Not as heartbreaking as the earlier movies by the same studio director, but still good. From what it sounds like, your story seems similar in conflict side, but different for other reasons. Intriguing. Well, I'm excited to see the differences. I like that. I like that movies work. 'Tis good. Movies. That studios work. Though my favorite studio by far is Cartoon Saloon. They make excellent stuff. Highly recommend. All these companies are so cool. It would be so cool if I could work with one of them. In different countries, though. Cartoon Saloon's in Ireland. Not that I wouldn't be willing to go out to Ireland for a bit, but you know, it's in Ireland. See, now that I'm doing an update of this, and I think I ran out of my print versions of these two, am I gonna need to order more prints? Is that what's going on? I feel like I'm going to have to. Comic-Con's coming up. I need to make sure I have all the good things. Like trash bin stickers. People love the trash bin. May, like, simultaneously feels, like, so far away and also really close. Because I know how much time is going to creep if I don't start prepping now. Because, on one hand, it's a little bit away, but also I know how much time it takes to get some of my stuff in. So if I wait too long, I'm gonna be in a world of trouble. I don't know if that's other people's experiences, but it definitely feels that way to me. Like, February felt like it went by so fast. I should have remodeled the cars. They're gonna be so boxy. The last time I worked off of these cars, I was struggling. I'm going to head out, take a bath before my brother takes the warm water, but kudos for the conversation. May your work be made with grace, and may you have a solid day/evening. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining in and talking with me. It was a lot of fun. Enjoy your bath. I know the troubles of people stealing the hot water, so I don't blame you for wanting to try and claim that while you can. If you end up joining in again, I will be streaming next week on Wednesday at the same time. I did not center these flower boxes, I don't think. Oh, that's so silly. It's alright. It's fine. They don't need to be centered. It's all good. keep getting lined up with the road, and I don't like the tangent. There'll be bushes to help with this. Keep things looking good. I have so many more lamps to trace. But I've got a decent amount of the buildings, so that's good. This illustration will probably change again once I redesign some of the buildings to be a bit more unique. Because the most unique building I have currently is the ice cream shop. That's because I dedicated an entire couple live streams to designing it, designing it in general. How many times is too many times to redesign your downtown? Never enough times. Never stay stagnant. Keep working. I didn't add the railings. I'm gonna have to do that on my own. Dang it. You know how cartoons just tend to have a themed snack? Just something that, like, that's their go-to. Like, for example, in Gravity Falls, the go-to drink was pit soda. Everyone drank that. And Hilda, it was not Jorts, maybe Jorts? I don't know. It was a cracker company that made their crackers look like pants. But the ice cream shop is gonna be the mascot food of choice. Gonna be how Lena and LF are gonna help bond with each other by having ice cream. This is Poise. It's like Broom, but different. Can't see it in this illustration, but the ice cream shop does have an accessibility ramp off in the alleyway. But again, it's not currently seen, but it's there. There's a bunch of stairs. I felt like it was necessary to have something that people could be able to get in. of the things this ice cream shop has is a stained glass window. Right there. The slightly shaky lines from me doing this freehand, it looks so odd after spending so much time using the straight line tool. Technically, it's the straight line shortcuts. Also, there is a window right here. I would copy it to the other side, but that's not really going to be visible, so there doesn't seem to be much point in doing so. Amazed with the people who are able to draw buildingscapes, like building studies, just cityscapes, without needing to make a 3D design for it first. They are very good at what they do. I think it's impressive. Maybe at some point I'll be able to do that. It would take me a lot longer. And now I can open this file in different angles and create illustrations based off of that. Which I think is fun. I have high hopes we're going to be able to finish the line art today. I would say this is going very well. Very well indeed. You want windows? You want the tiniest little windows? Windows that are lined up? Because I can barely see those windows. Yeah, those windows are great. Oh, there's mistakes happening here. I think this has 3 windows. Seems about right. Maybe? I don't know. They're windows. Got windows. I've got doorways. I've got street lamps. I can't see. And maybe that's my sign that I don't need to add more to it because I can barely see what I'm currently doing. So why would these details be visible in the picture? That's a problem. And then the road just cuts off. No more. I'll probably need to add like some sort of atmospheric effect in the background, so I don't have to draw all of those things. Ah, I still got more. I still have more lamps to do. Whose good idea was it to add so many lamps? Why did I think adding so many lamps would be a good thing? Yeah, the posture's cold now. It's sad. My fault for not eating dinner earlier. I think the line art's going over well. Hello there. Yeah, that looks nice. That lamp's a little close to the edge, but it's looking nice. Now the real question is, did I design it this way? Or is this a case of me not following the shapes as well as I could have? Alright, back into the thick of it. Just need to get the window in. Once we get the window in, we can get the pot in. And then once we get the pot in, that's when things get really crazy. We can't forget to add the plants in later. I would just be in this. But I think I'll draw outline art maybe on a separate layer. We'll see how I'm feeling. Oh, what's this one? It sounds like broom, but it isn't broom. Hello there, Padre. I probably have people watching. I'm not really looking at my viewer count at the moment. Right now, we're working on plant pots. And lights. And windows. Here's the city street so far.
It's good.
Thank you. I would say it is going well. I just wish I could see.
What application are you using?
Photoshop. I just never was gonna be. No chance. I'm never gonna see this one.
It's almost like a blender.
It is a Blender model. That's what I spent last week doing, making a Blender model.
Got it.
Please. I just want to draw a good circle. That's good enough, I guess. Can you imagine how much longer this would have taken me if I decided I was just gonna freehand the entire thing instead of using the straight line tool? So much longer. There's so many lanterns. And the closer I get to them, the more detail they have. Crazy how that works. We're gonna pretend the sidewalk doesn't end there. It's just because the Blender model says it does. Doesn't mean the sidewalk is ending. It's continuing. There's more road. More places for people to go. Why is this music escalating so much? I don't have to draw the stairs. It's being blocked by the lamp. I knew the lamps were good for something. Going into the lamps is not desired in the sense of I just have to erase lines now. This is fun. At some point the road is just... Wait. Oh, we're in a race. I was like wondering why can't I see any of the lines I'm making? Because I'm not making lines. You intersecting? Yes, you are intersecting. Tis not desired, sir. Please. Cease and desist. Bench by the lamp. More lamps and more benches and plant pots, and it's almost as if this is a city with city things. that was worth it. But I think it's just so close. The line's thick enough. Even if they're technically not touching at this point, in terms of perspective, they kind of are. A few more pixelated lamps to go. As we go along, they get less and less detail. It's so pixelated over in this corner. There we go. It's not the last lamp though. I've got 2 more to do. 2 more, a couple buildings, and then we can worry about the crosswalk. Alright, lamp. Actually, I've been forgetting things. Got the little twisty things to make it fancy. Can't forget the fancy. Swirls. Close to finishing, or at least I'm making good headway in my current animation project. Like a full-on animation. I won't spoil the actual content of it, but this one's fully animated and colored. Very exciting. How bad are these benches going to be? I didn't really think about them as I was making them in terms of how difficult they were going to be to align, but I don't think it's too bad. There just might be some tangent lines, because there's always some sort of tangent line. You can't escape. Copy and paste the bench over because they're in different perspectives. Only copy and paste the bench so many times. With blue sky all that much. Layout seems pretty similar to Twitter, just maybe less insane. Also look into seeing how that is for posting. 'Cause I've been told having more social media posts out will help me in terms of my year goals. I have to dedicate like a specific day to making posts, just for my own sanity. We're so close. I still need to figure out what I'm doing with the cars. Cars are annoying to draw. I've gotten better at them, but they're still annoying. I still need to fix that tangent line with the building and the road. Here. That's better. Probably. I don't even know how rendered out I want this area to be. I might also try and get some atmospheric fog over here too. It's not terribly well defined, which is my own fault. I designed this. It's going to be pretty warm this weekend. I should do some house projects. Like putting a privacy screen, because someone decided a great place for a window was going to be in the bathroom by the shower. Great spot for a window. Granted, the window's high, so it's not the worst window that could exist. But I don't need the neighbors staring into the bathroom. That is definitely on my agenda of things to do. Put a privacy screen on the window. Currently I'm utilizing the curtain as a privacy screen. But if I have the blinds up, or the film on the window, and I can have all of the natural light. I don't even know if these windows are straight. I can barely see them. On one hand, I like being able to see the shadows. On the other hand, the shadows fight me. I don't even know what this building is. I don't know where it divides. Almost everything? Need to do the bike rack over there. A little bit of the bike path over there. We're getting close though. I can feel it. And then we can move onto the stuff that I really like to line, which is trees and foliage. That's a lot more fun to do. Okay. Turn that back on so I can actually see. Oh, yeah. That's right. I still need to figure out the cars. This car feels vaguely shoe-shaped. Speaking of cars, I need to text my friend Brittany. Need to get my oil changed. I'm just working off of the memory of a car, which maybe isn't the best idea for making a car that's actually good. It's car-shaped, I think. How do you look? That's not the worst thing that I've done. It's better than the boxiness that other cars that I've made are stuck to, because this is a very boxy car design. They can have a little sunroof as a treat. Make this one be a delivery car so I can actually follow the structure. Yeah. There we go, a little truck. I don't know what this car is. It's something. That's right. They need back headlights for some reason. delivery van. This wheel might be a little popped out too far. That might be why it feels so weird. I think that's better. What to do with you? Just add little mirrors. That's fine. I don't know if this one's even looking like a car. Oh no. License plate. Does Maine require you to have a license plate on the front of your car? Good details to know. I don't think I drew them with the front license plate. The main difference between moonroof and sunroof is I think moonroofs are bigger. So you want to see more of the moon. You don't want to see that much of the sun. He looks a little wonky. I don't think that looks right. That looks special. A special little guy right there. Let's see if we can fix that slightly. We don't need this looking cursed. I did not save this yet. Let's save that. That seems like a good idea. Good activity to do. Save the illustration we've been working on for an hour or so. I don't even know if you would see that bit of the roof. Maybe next time I should just model the cars. That might be a smarter move than me trying to interpret a car shape off of a truck shape. It might be a bit easier. A little more sane. this one is also going to be a van. Because I don't want to try and interpret another car shape off of this. The first one was enough. I think there's a bit of a personal cabin, and then the actual truck is a bit bigger. There you go. How sane do you look? Well, they could be worse. Alright, is there... Oh, I've got more benches. All these fun shapes. Definitely see all of the individual little bike parking here. Absolutely. Yeah, that's fine. I decided I needed a break from all the structure and rigidity. We're making grass now. Wow, what a cute little park. And we get some pretty flowers here. This is not going to change sizes. So just work with this brush size the best I can. Yeah. Now we can do the trees. Can't remember how I did this tree last time. I'm sure I tried to make sure that connections to the ground and it wasn't just straight in and straight out. Wouldn't look the best. And now we can do the leaves. Not really looking at my other image, so it'll be interesting to see how the foliage has changed without me meaning to. I'm adding more detail than I did last time. Maybe. think I'm gonna have to erase that. Here I thought I was gonna get to the coloring today. Absolutely not. That's not happening. Nice tree. Good tree. Now we just need to do that a bunch of times. I will take care of the errant lines after I do all the trees. Probably go in with a thinner line for the actual bark of the trees. Get in some detail stuff. Last time I added tiny little birds. I will definitely need to do that again. Birds were integral. It made the scene feel a lot more alive. I know these trees are menaces to the road, but I just like them too much. They're necessary. And evil. They're a necessary evil. How many trees do I have left? Plenty. Plenty of trees. I might end at 10:30. I think that will give us enough time to finish everything. I think that might be a good time. We'll see. The goal is to finish the lining. That is the ultimate goal. Oh, that's right. One of the things I did was I made sure the trees had little grates if they weren't located in the flower pots. So I had fall foliage last time. Handle that differently, because I essentially just used random blotching of color. That worked fine, but I might be able to get a bit more intentional with it. all of this 3D work is going to be reliant on the shadows. There's only so much I can do. Make this look 3D. Meow, look at you. A little tree, a little world. Those trees aren't adding as much shade. Nah, maybe they're adding more shade than I thought, but maybe it's the time of day, but it looks like trees aren't adding as much shade as they could be. More lines. When in doubt, add more lines, but not too many lines. Be intentional with lines. Hide the atrocities that are my cars. I've resolved to not looking at the old illustration until it's time to do color again. I'm gonna reuse the color scheme because I liked how the colors came out on that one. It was good. No need to reinvent the colors if I'm already happy with them. Bike path, I might need to do an illustration. Riding her bike down the bike path now that it exists. Just so I get a sense of the vibe of biking through the trees in the city. I'm imagining it would be fun, all of the dappled light. Can't imagine why it wouldn't be good. Where's the stem on this thing? I have no idea. Is it just tree? Feels like a bigger tree than the other ones. I'm gonna take my best shot, but I'm not 100% sure I'm actually drawing the correct stem. So cute! I'm really liking that so far. What will really bring it to life, though, is adding brick pattern and whatnot to the city. It is looking very bare at the moment. And let's be honest, the cars are cursed. The cars are really cursed. I might need to actually go back in later on and remodel those, because oh my goodness, those don't look right. That or I need to sketch them. Look, those look cursed. It's like thinking, what else do I need? I'm practically done. I still have the benches. I still have these benches that I need to line over. They're so pixelated. It's fine. We don't need that much dimension to our chairs. The liner is too thick for that anyway. Wow. Chair. I want this area to be bustling. It's a strong downtown area with a fantastic ice cream shop. There's no reason why this park wouldn't be full of people playing or eating ice cream. The people line art might have to be a touch bit thinner than the line art over here so I can actually show people off doing things. After the line art, the next step is drawing in all of the shadows before I put in the color, because I can essentially gauge what the shadows need to look like because I have those rendered already. I just need to remake it into a form that's actually interactable with my document. There we go. All the benches. On that side. I still have benches on this side. Barely visible. I assume this is the arm. I can hardly see it. These benches. Hardly are rendered. Okay. I think the last thing I need to do is just render the flower boxes. Line those. There should be good. Oh, and the crosswalk. Crosswalk and maybe crosswalk, flower boxes. Try and liquefy the cars slightly. They look a little bit cursed. Just a little bit. Finally, I made it to a stream. What did I miss? Well, we are working on redesigning the downtown area for when it rains. If you remember that story. Still working on it. So I wanted to redesign the downtown area because it was looking a little lackluster. There were some details that were missing. For example, lanterns. I did not have any lanterns in the other one. So we are currently lining over everything. And we're almost finished with that. The limitation of this line is making things slightly difficult. That's the point. Last week we made a new version of this city in Blender. So now we are lining over that model. Excited to get to the coloring of this, though I do need to add things like power lines and birds. Just tiny details that make the scene come to life. Oh, and I need to draw the people too. I can't forget the people. I don't know if I'm gonna actually get to aligning the people today. That might be a next week issue. Here I was thinking I was almost done with the line art and I can get into the coloring. No, you silly. You still got so much to do. Anyway, I hope your day has been going well. Glad you're able to catch a stream. Oh, the Wednesday schedule doesn't work for everyone, but it was what worked best for me. Besides doing this, my day has been pretty chill. I have been working on some animation projects that I think you'll be excited to see at some point. And garden designs. I'm very excited about that one. You know, I haven't drawn the windows yet on the right side buildings. I don't want to draw the windows. They're not very clear. But I gotta. There's not really option. I gotta. The shadow really messes with things, huh? Is there a window there? Who's to say? I don't even know where the window is. I'm just trying to make it up as I go. It looks vaguely window themed. I don't know if I like this window. Oh, I can see this one! Note to self. Don't let any of the things be white in shadow. It's impossible to see anything in there. That doesn't even look right. Aw. This perspective's so weird. This is why I made things in Blender, so I didn't have to try and guess perspective. But guess what? I still need to try and guess perspective, because I can barely see my own Blender model. This window felt too extreme. I'm just seeing straight down into this window, huh? Those don't need windows. It's fine. Am I missing anything? Yeah, I was gonna try and liquefy these cars. They're a little... not correct. They're so wonky. See if this liquefy works. You can't really see what I'm doing But essentially, I am trying to force these cars to be in a perspective that makes sense. Yeah, this is... Next time I'm just gonna draw out the... I'm actually gonna render the cars. Design those. We can't keep doing this. I don't know if this made it better or not. It's certainly something. At least I have enough space to add a license plate on this truck now. So at least there's that. Other one, now that I have practically everything lined, let's pull up the other image and see what I am missing, so I know what to work on next week. Smaller line art for... Wow, I really didn't render those buildings at all. Okay, that's fine. So, render cracks on the sidewalk, yes. Lance. Draw the people. Did I add power lines? I did not add power lines. I did add a box and some on the ceiling things. Okay. So birds and plants. I could do that. Let's put that on a different layer. Just out of curiosity, because I didn't look at it. No, not that one. The other one. Image size? Ah! That's why it sucks. Okay. The resolution wasn't at 300. It wasn't at 300 DPI. I was working at 72 DPI. No wonder I was struggling with some things. That makes a lot more sense. My brush size was so small. Why are we at 3? This isn't correct. Okay. Let's go over the line art here. Make sure it's all nice and crisp. if I click on that and then modify contract 1 pixel, and then I inverse and then erase. And then we can modify, expand to, and then how are we looking here? I'm just trying to make it where the line art is better. Inverse that again. I think that's better. Let's just delete that and start again. I can't believe I was working at 72 DPI for that entire period of time. That is simply not correct. Earlier rather than later. I mean, technically I could have discovered that much sooner than I did, but that was still much better than it could have been. Print that. It just wouldn't have been good. Now we can add all the bark details we want. I think I'm actually gonna line the plants this time. Last time I did the illustration, I did it just with coloring. I think it made the plants stand out in a bad way. So we're actually gonna line this time. much done with the trees. Don't want to get too detailed over this area because this stuff is farther away. I'm gonna fog out this and this over here. Okay, let's move this illustration over so I can actually see it, you know? Being able to see your own work is good. So one of the things that I really liked was I added ivy. So this was all over the top of this building. He can invade right here. And then we had birds sitting on the top. Ivy can get quite bushy, so I'm going to lift that off the face of the building a decent amount. Where ivy gets a lot of its nutrients, because it just sticks to the side of brick. I know it grows from the ground and it gets through the concrete, so I imagine it would be kind of odd if it didn't have some sort of access to soil. I guess this is how most plants work. Most of the plant is not, in fact, in the ground. Curious to see if this actually looks better drawn out or if I prefer it simply colored. It is a good exercise. And then I'm thinking for the plants here, it's fall, it'll be more fall foliage than anything else. Like mums. Do impatience. I think impatience lasts pretty long into the season. I don't even have to really define these all that much. You just need to have plants in them. Wow, look at that. Little plants. So defined. So specific in what they are. Actually, I did a decent amount of drawing of plants today. That made me pretty happy. I'm gonna keep these loose because they are quite at a distance.
It's about time I bothered you.
Alright,
What's up?
nothing much. I'm drawing plants for the planters.
Hi, stream people.
I have about 3 people so far.
Only 4 friends? You should make more of them.
Last stream was ridiculous. I had like 10 people and I don't know where they came from.
10 friends? That's so many.
Do you plan on putting billboards or posters on the buildings?
You should do hilariously fake ads.
But it's a small town. I don't think most small towns have...
McJim Bob's Home Grocer.
I
I can promise you those do exist.
Sure, I can have signs and whatnot.
Oakland has billboards, but then again, it's on the highway, so it's not.
And this is in not the middle of nowhere, but it's not off a highway.
I think you should have at least one mural.
I did have a perfect building for a mural. I could put a mural right here.
Oh, good, yes. Excellent choice.
But right now we're just adding details to bring the city to life. Because this is what it looks like currently.
I thought
I already did that.
oh, is this like a screen cap?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
oh, no! Not now! I can take you on a tour of Blender later. But render the blender?
See, did you miss that? Is that something you can do?
I could do that, yes. I could like put more effort into the blender so then I don't have to trace it. But also, the point of it was not to build every single asset in Blender. The point of it was to build something that I can work off of so I don't have to figure out the perspective of everything.
Just say.
I don't think it would look right, you know? It just... It wouldn't look...
I don't know. I'm seeing some blender vendors that when moving, they look like standstill. They look absolutely.
I know they exist. I'm just currently not at that level of Blender yet. But that means I have to figure out UV lines and I don't... Painting in Blender sucks. Like, it works. I just don't know how to do it. It's not the most intuitive thing. I was trying to make an illustration look 2D in a 3D space.
I like your shadows.
Thank you.
I always think shadows from specific angles are super detailed. Like this one, beautiful shadow.
Yeah, that's from the Blender model.
Oh. One of my favorite pieces of art that I saw on Instagram, it's like a hand holding a bouquet of flowers, but it's like really harsh lighting with like cell shading from an angle, and it's like the shadow of the flowers onto the forearm. It's really cool.
Yeah, I like a good shadow. They're nice and tasty.
Your chat is so quiet.
I know. They just like watching
They
me,
scared to talk to you?
I guess. They just
Maybe
like,
they think you bite.
they might be watching me on TV.
sign in on mobile. Watching from both. Double the streamers. If you're actually paying attention and can type, say hi to me, please.
First wants engagement. They don't care that you're just here to listen and work on your own stuff.
That's craziness. They're here to listen to you. Yeah, wow. At school? You're at school right now?
They just needed a distraction.
What?
They just needed some background noise. You know?
At school? Pay attention. Class.
They're doing their own thing. Can you not mess with my mouse while I'm using it? It's...
Your homework.
They're doing their own thing. I'm trusting them to know what they want. If they want to listen to me while they're doing work, who am I to stop them? This is a very nice calming distraction. Thank you very much. They're just here to listen to me ramble about the line art for the 50th time. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to think of details to talk about. I have not. We're not really on the other... No, it's not really. Alright, bye, Padre. The general idea for the willow tree is on the other side of the portal. There's like it's a whole new world, but yet they have willow trees, because willow trees, they will drop their branches into the water and then propagate themselves in other places. And I think that's neat. So that's how willow trees exist on the other side of the portal, because they propagated themselves. There's supposed to be I think there's supposed to be a flower box here. The shadows hid it from me.
Delicious. It's a really narrow street, oh my gosh.
Yeah, the point is that the cars are not encouraged to drive here.
It's like big. It's gotta be like 10 feet wide. The minimum width.
Exactly. Exactly!
Are there any crosswalks in the middle of the... I suppose there
Crosswalk.
Me forced to cross at specific points so I don't trample flowers. Oh, shucks.
The way they get, the less detailed I get with the foliage. I don't know. It's just tree.
You have an ecology focus. It didn't stop to think about what plants you're actually drawing.
I thought about it. But we're so far away. I got vague ideas of alums and grassy things and flowers, and I've got some mums over here and impatience. You know. I had vague thoughts about it. This is better than what I did previously. This one, I just used a brush, and there's no definition in the foliage whatsoever. So I'm going back in and adding vague details of foliage.
Those cars are tiny. Gosh.
Yeah, I think the scaling's slightly off.
Did you drop a car in the
No, I should have done that. Because I built like a very boxy car, so all of my cars are very boxy. Because that's.
mail truck.
Mm hmm. All very convenient, you know?
Alright, I'm good to go.
Okay.
Most of the areas you need your vans. Yeah, except for one of those definitely looks like a little hatchback.
Or a sedan or something. I don't know. I gave it a sunroof.
What?
As a treat.
Is that car coming towards us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry, they're driving on the correct side of the street.
Another mail truck. It's like these specialty cars that are designed specifically to go in narrow streets in European cities.
They got some K trucks in, don't worry.
Oh, you're like not even legally allowed to have those in
Not true. I think they changed that.
They don't meet the safety standards. Which, to be fair, is not the fault of the K truck. Rather, just the average size of the vehicle in the United States.
United States can calm down.
I'm in one of those fat ass SUVs, so I can't say shit. But at least, you know what? I'm not in an ego truck, so there's that.
At least there's that. Gosh, Chris, couldn't you have gotten a car body SUV instead of a truck body SUV?
You know what? If I was able to find a nice little cross truck or an Outback that was reasonably priced and within my mile range and that also had all-wheel drive, I would have taken it. However,
So many requirements.
oh dear gosh, let me handle the snow. What a hardship.
How dare you want to be able to drive in the snow?
Yeah, it's just crazy. Bad on me.
Okay. Bye. I just want a nice little walkable city that's only slightly hostile to cars. Only slightly. Don't worry about it. Currently adding little leaves, because little leaves are nice. And it's fall time. If we don't have little leaves on the ground, what are we doing? The ambiance. Ah. And then I can draw dumb little birds. Draw dumb little birds that vaguely look like sparrows. I think the screen isn't showing your progress. It zoomed in at one of the buildings. Oh! That's because my dad messed with it. I am so sorry. Thank you for letting me know, because I am... Pardon? Sir? Oh gosh. Give it a second. Why are you struggling? What did my dad do? What happened? I can't click on Photoshop. Huh? Oh no. What happened? No, don't give me the circle wheel of death. No, please. What happened? No! No, please! Don't do this to me! What happened? Oh no. I can't click on it. It's stuck. Oh boy. What do I do? I haven't saved in a good hour. I feel like. I think I saved last at 10:08. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to force quit the program. I don't want to do that. Oh no. At least I saved it after I did a lot of the building stuff. That would have sucked if I hadn't done that. Okay, well, no wonder. That would... Am I gonna have to bring in Task Manager? And then we're gonna have to... And we're gonna have to... End task. Okay. And then we're gonna have to open up Photoshop again. Please let there be a recovery. 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 I'm not seeing a recovery. Oh no.
It... It's from the last time I saved it.
Dang it. All of the trees aren't done. It's still in 72 DPI. It's... Shh. Okay. Oh, I know why it was zoomed out. Okay. It was because I changed the DPI amount and then I didn't change the other screen viewing. Okay. Well. Well, that wasn't fun. I'm just gonna end this here. And that's a different day issue. I'll reline everything a different day. I have to reline the benches and the crosswalk and the vines and all of the plant matter that I've spent the last half of it. I'm just gonna... That's a different Alyssa issue. Alright. I will see you guys next week. I'll like line this in my own time and then we can do the coloring next week. That sounds... I'm yeah, I'm done for the day. I okay. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good rest of your night.